we got to get into Ray DeVito's 40 and Simple. I want to breeze through this. And then what we're going to do is we got the Dave Lindahl comedy special, A Prison 10. And we're going to be comparing. And then someone put in the chat before the show even started, well, what's going to happen next? Like, what, does the winner get compared to Chad Zumock's? Yes, I'm here to inform you tonight that we will be watching Chad Zumock's Dry Bar special. So let's get right into it, guys. 40 and Simple. This is a Ray DeVito comedy special. Take it away.
Let's welcome to the stage, Ray DeVito!
Ray DeVito!
What's going on? I realized this a couple years ago when I was having anxiety attacks. I'm at the doctor's office, and she goes, all right, she goes, before I give you any medication, she goes, I want to know, what do you take for your ADHD? You had to be bouncing off the walls when you were a kid. How did your parents handle that? I'm like, they hit me?
So I see a lot of you saying Ray DeVito's comedy isn't actually that bad. Now, I'm here to inform you. I've only seen the first 5 minutes of this, so I don't know. So let's watch it. Ray DeVito. Ray dropped the bag on podcasting interviews with your Wi-Fi and your shitty questions. DeVito. Ray having your producer ask the hard questions because you can't. DeVito. Ray, I'm a 48-year-old man still with shitty Wi-Fi. DeVito. Ray, my backdrop looks like a fucking 1997 Radio Shack warehouse. DeVito. I can go on and on with this, but let's just play the special.
Like, trying to fix ADHD and anxiety with a timeout be like trying to stop someone's asthma attack by having them do jumping jacks.
I'm sorry, I gotta pause again, but these are just questions I have in my head. Why, what is the point of the speakers? What does that symbolize? Ray isn't a gearhead. He's not a fan of speakers. He doesn't have any speaker endorsements. So why do you have all these speakers? Someone says, I hate his outfit. Yes. That is a great observation. What is this outfit? I mean, did you pick this up at Kohl's? Where did you get this shirt? Why does it have two front pockets? If this doesn't sum up Ray DeVito right here, I don't know what does. These pants that were picked up at a local Salvation Army that were being donated for $4.99. The price, of course, of this channel's membership. So the price of that is how much he picked up these pants for. And a pair could be described as white, possibly knockoff Air Force Ones. I mean, because we know Ray DeVito ain't rocking no Air Force Ones. This would be okay on a 22-year-old, young adult. This is a 48-year-old man. 48. Old enough to be a lot of people's fathers. But I see a lot of you saying here tonight that he should have just stuck with comedy and not podcasting, and maybe that might be true. Comedy isn't working out for him. It hasn't worked out for him up until this point. So we decided to podcast. All right, let's keep playing.
If you cannot handle someone being mean on social media, then don't go on there, right? Then don't. For 2 years, I had a popular web series. If it wasn't for people saying mean things, no one would have interacted with me. That is the entire
okay, that's
internet.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I take it back. My videos, 3 types of people. I saw an article in the New York Times. It said the cost of having a kid in New York City is $45 a day. 45, that's a lot. I know you love your children, but that's like waking up every morning and seeing a parking ticket.
Not bad from DeVito. Not bad.
And what happened when we were kids? Remember when we were kids?
Don't get it twisted. These are completely fake laugh tracks. There's no audience in the history of audiences that laugh this much. Which is kind of a shame. It kind of takes away from the whole special thing. It just feels all very processed. Not doing bad so far, joke-wise.
He's not.
Not doing bad.
When the youngins in here, if you go to college, you got to make it. Student loan people, they're not going to leave you alone. They won't. They still call them up. They go, Mr. DeVito, when we gave you that money, we thought you'd pay us back. I'm like, I thought I was going to graduate. Right? Don't get mad at me because you gambled on the wrong. When I was 12, my grandfather died. My grandma gave me a shoebox full of pictures from his childhood, and they were poor. They lived in this little sod house. My grandfather had to sleep on a cot with his other 5 siblings.
Okay, get to the
brutal,
joke. What's the
yet
joke?
As bad as a in 1912, my great-grandfather owned a camera.
Okay, so I mean, I think we could say with certainty that this is all laugh tracks. Nobody is laughing at, you know, my grandfather owned a camera. Oh, so good. Ray DeVito knee slappers.
Get dogs, yeah?
By the way, let's check this audience out. I see something here that's pretty shocking. So somebody had the balls to take their whatever, their significant other, to a Ray DeVito comedy taping special. Wow, that is a special kind of somebody. Let's see how Ray ends this comedy special. Because, I mean, all right, we get it.
If you can you please say the C word? Hey, by the way, what is the C word you're talking about? And she says, Christmas.
Christmas.
So then she says to me when she sees I'm like,
Let's just see how he gets out of it.
She goes, oh, hey, by the way, what is the C word you thought I meant? And I go, Cleveland. And she goes, oh, no, you could talk about that. And I was like, all right, great. So an inside joke, I started the show for her to just be like, hey, Merry Christmas, Cleveland. And some guy's like, this is St. Louis. And I'm like, hang on, if you don't like it, I gotta bring up Anna. She insisted I say that 4 more times. All right, you guys have been awesome. My name's Ray DeVito.
Wow, that's its grand finale. Ray DeVito, man, people are not too happy with you. So not only are you a bad podcaster, now it turns out to be you're a shitty comic. Like, ugh. That was horrible. I lost a lot of people. There's a lot of great people that we lost along that journey. Dave Landau comedy special, A Prison 10. Now, at the end of this, for some of you who were in the beginning, we got to watch Ray DeVito's special, or lack thereof. Now we're going to be compare and contrast the two, and the winner will go on to face Chad Zumach's Dry Bar special.
Thank you. Ahoy, I'm wearing...
And a very, very, I'm not in the greatest shape, but I mean, if I look like this, surely somebody, would come put me out of my misery. Short and stubby. 3 chins.
Today I surprised my wife with flowers and a teddy bear. They were free. Somebody left them tied to a light pole at intersection. Got a little white bike for my son. It was good. It was a nice...
It's such a shame, man, how far we have fallen. What our definition of comedy special is anymore. Our definition of comedy in general, man. It's like, George Carlin would be rolling over in his grave if he seen shit like this. Richard Pryor. It's like, they would give you intellectual takes of, the political world, of, the world of entertainment. And now just to replicate or try to replicate what those guys did and to use those guys as your idols is almost like a fucking direct slap in the face. I mean, it's sad, man. I mean, there's not really, there might be a handful. And by handful, I mean 7 or 8 decent comics. Dave Landau's in this weird box. He wants to be an edgy comic, but he's pigeonholed ever since going on Crowder and then first it started with the Compound Media. Dave Landau was on Compound Media, was trying to suck up to Anthony Cumia like everyone does, leaves Compound Media, goes to Steven Crowder on The Blaze. So he didn't, didn't do himself any favors because he pigeonholed himself by doing, right-leaning political comedy. Now, all of a sudden, that's going to alienate 50% of any audience you might have had any chance of getting.
My son was at the tail end of 4 when the pandemic first started, and we were just sitting around the house, and I wanted to bond with him, so I was like, let's go meet my parents. So I brought him to the cemetery. They don't work there. They're dead. They still vote. So
A lot of people already say, make this stop. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad.
I bring him to this crypt mausoleum. So I asked my friends, I'm like, what do you do to explain death to a child? They say, get a goldfish. They die relatively quickly. You have the flush funeral. Then they understand life and death. And he's like, all right. So I bring him to the pet store. He doesn't want a goldfish. He wants a cat.
I can't
Which
stand his voice.
completely clogged up our toilet. I mean,
I don't know though.
it was a fighter. I had to plunge it out and put it
Off
in
the bat,
piece
not
by
that
piece.
bad. Not that bad. I would say better
And
than
how to use a
Vito's.
fillet knife.
Better
So it was
than
a pretty good-
DeVito's.
There was actually a kid in Texas who identified as a cat. So they put a litter box into the boy's bathroom so he could shit and feel normal. And I'm like, wow, that is not what you do. You bully him until he kills himself.
Not that
Because
bad.
no matter what he does, it's funny. Or he uses a gun and you're like, how do you work the trigger with them paws?
It's just like I can't take the
Yes, it
laugh
was just
tracks.
the one life.
You know, like
All right.
again, it's just so processed, so
What I'm saying
generated.
is I understand that's
Who do you think's got this, man? DeVito or Landau? I mean, I feel like Landau is a little bit more polished, I guess is the word. And he's not really even that polished. He's just I think it's better production. He's more money. You know what I mean? He has more money than Ray DeVito, so he's able to make it look better, sound better. Ray DeVito as comedy special felt very choppy. Now, granted, it was a 20-minute special, so you got to cram in a bunch of fucking jokes in 20 minutes. Where this is kind of spread out, it's 59 minutes, 58 seconds, so an hour long. And it feels better paced. Like this feels like a better paced special. All right, guys, polls up now.
He's in Christian school
Vote.
right now. We were debating
Who do you want to face
sending him
Chad's
to
Dry
public
Bar special
school,
next week?
But
Who did it
they
better?
were closed.
DeVito
for
or
kindergarten.
Landau? Ray DeVito, if you're watching, listening, or if news gets back, today is your lucky day, Ray DeVito. You have finally won at something. Your, I can't even say it with a straight face. Dry Bar special by Ray DeVito has moved on to the next round and will be going head to head with Chad Zumach's Dry Bar special next week, of course, in this Mega Month. Yes, guys, Mega Month. We have a lot of fun things coming up for Mega Month.